Welcome to the Art of Money Podcast with Art McPherson.
And this is the Art of Money Podcast with Art McPherson and Luke McCarty, artofmoneyradio.com for more information on the McPherson Financial Group or to schedule that initial complimentary consultation. We appreciate you listening. Now, let's get to the show.
I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud.
Country superstar Lainey Wilson, Female Artist of the Year as well. And I know here on the Art of Money, we're all big fans of Yellowstone. I think they pushed back the return for season 5. I think it was supposed to be sometime in June, but now I'm hearing towards the end of summer 2023.
I've watched it. I've kept up, but I don't know when the new season's coming out.
Well, we had a chance to sit down with Lainey Wilson, and here she is talking about, she plays the character Abby on Yellowstone, aside from being a great country artist. And here she is explaining how she got on the hit TV show.
My music was pitched to the show for season 2, and they put a song of mine in there called Working Overtime. Taylor Sheridan, he, became a fan of mine, and he ended up inviting me out to a horse reining competition out in Vegas. And that's where I got to meet him. And that's where I got to shake his hand, and we became friends. We bonded over horses. I grew up on the back of a horse, and I really respect him. And it was kind of this mutual respect of like, I see the hard work you're putting in. I see what you're doing. And I knew that my friendship with him at some point would lead to other opportunities. I didn't know that it was going to lead to an actual role on the show. But he called me February of 22, and he said, I got this idea. He said, I want to create a character specifically for you, and I want you to wear your bell bottoms and sing your own songs and pretty much be yourself. And I mean, this is my first acting gig.
Hey, tell me about how you got involved with the McPherson Financial Group. What were your first couple of days like?
Yeah, so, with Art and the team, I should say, I used to work with Susan here in our office, so sometimes if you call into the office, you may get Susan, you may get Pam, you may get Cindy, you may get Kathy. I mean, we have a whole team here, but Susan specifically, I worked with her at Raymond James about 6 years ago in Kansas City. And so when she came down here, she got, she started with McPherson Financial Group, and, she kept reaching out to me saying, hey, we may have room for another advisor. Do you want to move to Florida? Do you want to move to Florida? And eventually I was like, yes, I do want to move to Florida. But I'd say my first couple days here, the office had just had a renovation. So, I had my office ready. But the story that I'll never forget is my first day was supposed to be, when Hurricane Dorian was sitting out in the Bahamas. So my first day of September, or end of August 2019 is when Hurricane Dorian was coming. So we actually I didn't have my first day on the day I was supposed to. And it got delayed by about a week. Thankfully, that hurricane ended up moving north, but I actually took my family to the Gulf and went fishing instead of starting work that day because, everybody was evacuating and we weren't open. But that was my first couple of days. Not as cool as a ranch in Montana like Lainey Wilson, but I'd say still pretty cool.
Artofmoneyradio.com to meet Luke McCarty and put a face to the voice that you hear every weekend. Hey, here's more from Lainey Wilson talking about her first day on the Yellowstone set.
When I showed up, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect from the cast and crew. I had met a few of them because I had went and played a private show for them. But when I showed up to actually be on the show, I was like, these folks might be like, who is this girl and what is she doing thinking she can come up on our turf, like get in line with the rest of us. But the truth is they welcomed me with open arms.
So let's talk about our first meeting with you and the team at the McPherson Financial Group. So when we walk through the doors, what is our first consultation like, Luke?
Yeah, so, I've offered our phone number out a couple times today. So that's 321-425-8550. But our first appointment, our first meeting is a conversation. We don't know what direction you want to go. We don't have any idea of what we're going to recommend at this time. So it's a conversation of where you are, where you want to go, how much income do you need? How much income do you have? What are your expenses? It is, I will call it the basics, but we are pretty good at asking questions to kind of figure out, what direction you want to go, how much risk you're willing to take. I will say, a couple of things I've seen recently is people who have come in on that first appointment who end up being clients, right? They, we run some analysis and show how much risk you are currently taking. And I think it is eye-opening if you think about going back to a 2008, 2009 type of event and, you run an analysis and say, if we have that event again, you could be down 40%. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so close to retiring. I can't be down 40%. I'm like, I know. That's why we're going to recommend certain different types of products, different investments, with less risk, right? Our goal here is to have good returns with lower risk. right? If we can't reduce your risk, we're not doing our job correctly, right? If we don't get you good returns, you're going to do it on your own. So we have those conversations to kind of see what type of a portfolio needs to be created for you, right? Every client has a different type of portfolio, right? There's no cookie cutter, you fit in this box, you go here. It's all about liquidity. It's about income needs. It's about your age. It's about your legacy plan. It's about your tax plan. I mean, we get into some specifics when it comes to what does your portfolio look like, but that's not the first meeting, right? First meeting is, hey guys, I'm Luke. Nice to meet you. Here's Mark. He's our CPA. Here's Art. Here's some of the team. What did you bring with you? Let's have a discussion. Let's see where you're going on your own and see if we can help you get there better or faster or easier or less risk.
And you always say no obligation. When you said that, you're not required to become a client at the end of that first conversation.
Correct. No obligation. I would say after the first meeting, the only thing you're ever asked is, hey, do you want to have a follow-up meeting? Do you want to schedule that now? Or do you want Pam to reach out to you? Do you want to think about it and call us back? It is very stress-free, just conversation, and if we're on the same page, you'll come back for a second meeting. If we're not, you'll go on your own way.
And one more time, Luke McCarty, what's that number?
That phone number is 321-425-8550, or you can go to our website, McPhersonFinancialGroup.com, our YouTube channel. Just search for McPherson Financial Group on YouTube. There's a lot of ways to find us. I know if you're driving in your car, you don't want to write that phone number down. So I'm an internet type of guy. So if I could do something online, make a dentist appointment online or something, I'm doing it as opposed to calling. So however you want to get a hold of us, there's several ways that we can find each other and we can have that first conversation.
Just simply put a Google on it, McPherson Financial Group or Art McPherson, and all the information will pop up. We got to go. Before we take a break, one last clip from Lainey Wilson talking about one of the most infamous characters on TV right now, and that's Beth Dutton.
Kelly Reilly really kind of became that person for me of, she lifted me up. Mm-hmm. She encouraged me. She said, I would have not known that this was your first time if you had not told me. I would have thought you'd been doing it for years. And
that's awesome.
That was a big compliment coming from her.
Yeah.
Because I think she is seriously one of the best actresses I have ever seen in my life. Y'all know she's British. So mine and her conversation, we needed a dang translator.
We appreciate Lainey Wilson spending some time with us here, talking about life on the Yellowstone set, which should be back, some point this summer.
Thanks for listening. Want more from Art McPherson of McPherson Financial Group? Find us online at artofmoneyradio.com. We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Securities offered through World Equity Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Investment advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC. McPherson Financial Group and ProStatus Group, LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by World Equity Group, Inc. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Investment financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. Art McPherson is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Arthur McPherson. Florida Insurance License number A174725.
Today's show has been a work of art.